Wall, it's of course hard to forget that Mr. Trump repeatedly insisted during the campaign that he would build a wall and Mexico would pay for it. That line was like throwing red meat to his supporters. What happened to his promise? Let's bring in Steve Rogers, a member of the Donald J. Trump Campaign Advisory Board. He's a former lieutenant commander with the U.S. Navy Reserves. Thanks, sir, for being with us. What happened to this promise? It seems we can't even get a straight answer from Sarah Sanders about whether or not what Mr. Trump calls border security includes a wall, which was one of the central promises of his campaign.
Well, so far he's kept all of his promises, and he's going to keep this promise. A wall will go up. But remember, he's a chief negotiator. He certainly wants to be able to build that wall with the cooperation of the Congress. You have to clean up this immigration mess that he inherited, and I believe once that's cleaned up, then that wall is going to go up.
Right, but he's asking for money from Congress. He's trying to set that as a condition for a wider immigration reform deal, when during the campaign he could not have been clearer that Mexico was going to pay for it. That sounds like a broken promise.
Oh, I believe that at the end of the day, they will pay for it, whether it be through the tax dollars, it be through some trade negotiations. Look, I could tell you one thing. Watching what he's done in the past year with the economy, with the VA, with the military, with law enforcement, every promise he made, he kept. And I'm confident he's going to keep this promise.
Well, he wasn't able to get any legislation passed except for the tax reform bill. Everything else failed, so he didn't keep all his promises. Yes,
he did. A couple of hundred executive orders where he put into place a lot of reforms. You see, these are the things that are not being reported. We have an economy that's beginning to soar. Look at the stock market. As a result of his work, that stock market has been up several times. He's rebuilt the military in the Mideast. He's formed an alliance to help him with issues over there. So, you know, I think sometimes we got to give the guy a break and really give him credit where credit is due.
Oh, no, I'd argue with the fact we don't report on his executive orders. We report a lot. We're on CNN International here, and a huge chunk of my program every night is covering the Trump administration. But I want to get back to that wall because I think a lot of people don't understand. When you say Mexico will pay for it through their taxes, I mean, to me, that still doesn't make sense. I don't understand. Maybe I'm missing the logic here, or how it would financially work even.
Okay, here's what is going to happen. He made a promise to the American people about border security. He made a promise that a wall was going to go up. Every promise so far he made the American people, he kept. So we should look at the evidence, look at what he's done so far, and give him a little time to do what he thinks is best for the country. And what's best is if you get Congress on board. Congress needs to get on board. One way or the other, the wall is going to go up.
So why is he asking Congress for money then? That means the American taxpayer is going to pay for the wall.
Well, look, first of all, what he's trying to do at the end of the day is get them on board, all right? So he's a negotiator. He's going to work very hard to bring Congress on board to force them finally to do something about immigration reform. Look, think about this. For years, decades, we've been talking about, I should say the Congress has been talking about immigration reform. Never in all these decades, at least I've been on this earth, have they ever pursued immigration reform like they're doing now. And that's all because of what the president is doing. Let's see how this all works out at the end of the day.
All right. Steve Rogers, thanks very much for joining us. We appreciate your time this evening. Very busy day in Washington, and we appreciate you joining us. We hope to speak again. Still to come tonight, Ivanka Trump's surprise